Peter, thanks for taking the time to join us tonight in what is our third Tuesday of the month Zoom meeting for the BSSA. I was hoping you could start by showing us a little bit about your setup, maybe firstly your outdoor flights if you've got a moment.
So there's the outside flights. So I've deliberately wanted to have outside aviaries right from the word go. So I've got these, and they've since been renovated by Johnny Ennis for me. So there's some. I'll have a bit more of a look around. So yeah, I like the idea of having birds out in the garden. So yeah, we recently put a new roof on it. It was made originally from corrugated iron from my father-in-law's shearing shed. So it wasn't brand new. None of this stuff was brand new. A lot of the timber was second hand when I first started. This little flight in here is where the babies go. So when I first started, this was my bird room. This section just here. It wasn't insulated or anything. I mean, it's still not insulated now. It wasn't even lined back then. And I just had some breeding cages in here. It's probably a bit out of focus. Little grey-green breaking cap. And then out through here are the young birds. So basically there's two flights, young birds on one side, which is this lot, and some culls on the other side. So earlier in the day when I was up here, when it was a bit sunnier, they were all outside enjoying themselves, getting a bit of vitamin D. As the afternoons come on, they've all come in underneath, and it's about to turn a bit dirty outside, so I'm guessing they're getting ready for that.
Thanks, Peter. I'm sure you outgrew that bird room pretty quickly. Do you think you could show us out in the garden? I know you like to take a few plants out of there and feed them to the birds.
So a few things in the garden. This stuff here, it's a type of acacia. Really something that the birds hook into when they get the chance, when I prune it. Lots of natives in the garden. Grevilleas, Banksias. I don't feed them Banksia, but you can feed them Grevillea. This stuff, which is old man saltbush, really good. They hook right into that. Give it a bit of a hiding.
Thanks, Pete. You're obviously the first person that we've interviewed in this series that actually has outside flights. What is it that generally draws you to them? What is it that you see as an advantage there?
So there you go. One of the things I like about outside flights is when you get a shower of rain, that's where the birds go, out to the rain. They absolutely love it. So just out in the flight, there's some young birds I haven't used. There's some birds that were probably going to be sold and haven't been sold because of the auction situation. There's some birds that are going to make their home in other people's places, like that albino cock up there. When I get him to where he needs to go, young fallow cock from last year, black ringer. He might get a go pairing up somewhere. There's a nice young clear body cock. Bit of feather about him. If they are a nice enough hen, the hen's down there.
Thanks, Pete. I'm wondering if we can take a look in the actual breeding room now and have a little bit of a look at the setup that you have there and possibly your soft food mix, which I understand you got ready to go.
Right, so soft food. So this is the basis of the soft food. This is the veggie part. So if we look down in there, we've got a couple of grated carrots, 300 grams of frozen corn that's been thawed out, and a couple of leaves of silver beet that have been chopped up, all mixed in together with a scoop of white E. So a scoop about that big. So mix that in, it dissolves in the moisture in the mix. So white E is basically a vitamin E supplement. I've got a mate who's a vet and a professor, and his specialty is andrology, so male repro, and he's retired now, but he said to me, and this is particularly talking about trying to get semen out of bulls, that the one thing in all of his time that he has found that improves male fertility is is vitamin E. So I basically worked up a rate of how much of this white E product I needed to mix in with my veggie mix, and I believe it's had a positive effect on fertility. It's not, as you can see, it's not cheap, and that does me about 2 months. So you're kind of talking about, you know, $3 a day to add that to the mix. Over here, that's the finished product. That is basically those ingredients there. So 2 scoops of hulled oats and a small cup of small parrot mix mixed in with some grey striped sunny. That all gets combined with a drizzle of good oil and some tummy right. So I use the tummy right plus. I like the calcium in it. You know, there's not many times where I'm not feeding some source of calcium. Probably with the silver beet in there. Silver beet contains oxalates, and oxalates have a tendency to bind to calcium. So I know the birds like the silver beet, so I try and keep the silver beet in their diet. But yeah, I make sure that I'm supplementing calcium most of the time. So what happens next, and I won't be able to do it because I can't video and mix at the same time, but those ingredients there, the grains, basically get combined in this bucket with the veggies. So that's a 5 litre bucket, and that will be full to the brim basically, and that 5 litres will feed the 48 breeding pairs with a bit left over for the babies. So that basically, there in a nutshell, is the daily soft food mix.
Peter, do you think we could have a little bit of a look around the general setup of your bird room? What you've obviously got in the room, how you house your seed, those kind of nuances that are, you know, if we were to come for a real aviary visit, that we'd be obviously taken on board while you're talking.
So this is the workbench sort of area of the bird room. Trophy cabinet. The wife hates having those Budgie trophies in the house, so they have to live up here. There's our soft food just about to be fed shortly. Over here's the sink, so a few tools hanging on the wall there. Probably those scissors and the tweezers get used the most. There's old Joe. Some may recognise that bloke. Some may recognise the bloke with him. Bit of artwork from Guy Denning, very clever man. Some more Connor Rubin's handiwork there. A few show cages help me pair up. There's the bench. Over here we've got some seeds, so there's our oats. Over in this bin we've got our seed mix. So when the BCB sort of endorsed the what's it called, Budgerigar product, I switched over to that, and I quite like it. I think it's got a nicer mix of millets in it than I was using previously. So that's the basic seed. Tonic mix in there. Thanks to Nash Benjamin, he gets that for me from somewhere over here's part of town, Thomastown or somewhere like that, I think. That's the grey striped sunflower mixed in with the small parrot mix. So that's it there, a bit of safflower and a few other things going on in it. That gets used in the soft food. What do we got there? Some cuttlefish, millet sprays. I get these bad boys from Lindsay Hancock. The babies love them. We're not sure where they come from. His supplier tells him they're made in Australia, but it's pretty damn hard to get Australian grown millet at the moment. But anyway, even if they are from China, I'm not too worried. I don't have an aversion to irradiated seeds. I mean, all the irradiation does is basically disable the embryo in the seed. Might just change some of the vitamins, but let's put it this way. If irradiation reduced the energy content and energy value of food and seeds, it'd be a great cure for obesity, wouldn't it? You know, we just have to stick our food in some sort of thing like a microwave, irradiate it, take all the goodness out of it, still get to eat it, and not put on any weight. There's a thought.
Pete, I'm sure there's more than a few of us that would like to try that trick. Have you got any holding cages inside of the breeding room?
So just down in the holding cage down here, my old mate here, the blue cock, he's 2015 rung. He's won the young bird shield, he's won the adult shield a couple of times. He didn't go to the nationals because I was judging. What else we got there is a Gazzard cinnamon, kind of typical look of a Gazzard cinnamon. Nice young green cock here I'm thinking about what to do with him. He's just not quite in nick. This hen, we'll probably talk about her a bit later. She's a hen I want to work with, and I'll try and find a mate for her later this afternoon. And that's the Lucky Squares hen over the back there.
That Sky Opaline hen is a fantastic budgie. Very, very nice. Pete, do you think you could show us just, I guess, the general setup of your nest boxes, how you go about doing that?
Okay, so here's our nest box and our nest box prep. So in there we've got some Critter Comfort reptile bedding, which is a Koya product. Troy Holmes uses it. I found it to be the best stuff that I've put in nest boxes. The hens tend not to show it out as much as the wood shavings that I used to use. I always put a piece of cuttlefish in the nest box right from the word goes. They tend to smash that up as a general rule rather than smash the nest box up, so give them something to chew on. So here's the breeding cage set up. The nest box, the nest box is always open for the birds in the as soon as I put them in the breeding cage, I find that stimulates the pair, and they start laying a lot quicker rather than waiting for birds to bond before we open up the nest box. So,
thanks, Peter. Do you think you could talk us through possibly some of the pairings? I know you've got a few pairs up at the moment. Do you think you could talk us through, I guess, the reasoning behind that, and show some of the audience out there, I guess, what you're looking for in a pair, you know, what it is that comes into your consideration when you're looking at putting them down?
okay, so some pairing up. So in an earlier video I talked about the opaline sky blue hen. There she is. So she's a daughter of the guy who come third at Penrith in the opaline class, so it makes her a niece of the winner of the same class, brothers. This cock here, opaline grey-green cock, he is not from the same family, although there'll be some common blood way back in the pedigree. His grandfather was a dominant pied from Dave Kelleher that was down here, and so I'm thinking I'll put these two guys together. They physically they seem compatible. Probably more so from the variety side of things. Like, he's a nice, relatively clean opaline. She's got a few spots in her head, unfortunately. So people ask you, how do you breed clean opalines? I think the easiest answer is, the way to breed clean opalines is start with clean opalines. You'll make your life a lot harder if you're trying to breed clean opalines from fleck-headed birds. So my thinking is you need to introduce the genetics of the clean bird into your opaline breeding program somehow, and then work with that. That's going to fast-track things a whole lot more than trying to breed clean-headed birds out of dirty-headed birds. So anyway, these two are about to get a breeding cage. So here we have Cinnamon Cock. This bloke's the bloke who come second at Brisbane last year. Here he is in all his fine breeding form, paired up with nice little yellow-faced Sky Cinnamon hen, spangled. They've got 3 chicks at the moment. He's just waiting for his soft food, which I'll see if I can give that to him now. Drop that in there. He doesn't mind a feed, this bloke's a bit like me, but he looks a bit flatter than me. Anyway, they've got 3 nice little chicks. There's 2 of them up in here. 2 little spangled chicks on the go there. The Sky's from another nest. I put that in there because she wasn't doing a good job of feeding the first one, so I put an older chick, and I've moved the oldest chick down to another nest. So I didn't get anything out of this bloke last year, but we're off to a good start this year. So here's a nice opaline cock who's paired up with an opaline hen, those grey greens. Quite like this pair. I'm not getting a lot of satisfaction from them at the moment. Pardon me. They've got 1 chick that I've fostered out. They've got a few more full eggs now, and I'm not confident they're going to hatch. The 1 chick that I have got that I've got fostered out, I quite like. I'll show you that one in a minute. But yeah, they're a pair I've got a lot of time for, so I'm just going to have to work out how I can get a few more chicks on perch from these 2. The fertility's there, but getting them getting them through to chicks on the first has been a bit more. So this is the baby from the pair of opalines I was talking about before. It's the only one. It's not a bad baby. One thing I do like about it, oops, there we go on. For its age, I like that lovely clean V in the back there, which is a really, when you're breeding opalines, that's a really good place to start. But yeah, that's a nice enough sort of chick, I think. So if I can get a few more of those, that'd be really good. So I've got a couple of albinos here. This bloke's not looking too great at the moment. He's the guy that won the diploma at Melton this year. I think he might have had a bit of a run-in with the missus. He's got a bit of blood on his steer. I'll see if I can pop the hen out. Come on, sweetie, out you go. Further. So nice clear body hen. They got one chick at the moment, which is an albino, so it's probably obviously a hen. So yeah, he's not looking great at the moment. This bloke over here is a cousin. So their fathers were two grey splits that I had. This bloke's not too shabby either. He's paired up to a fairly flighty albino hen. Comes out of the net. There she is. She's a bit spooky. There's a couple of chicks fostered from them around the place. She's got some vices, this hen. She tends to tooth toes on a baby, so we've just got to be mindful of that next round and stop that from happening. But anyway, a couple of albino cocks that I would have liked to have got to the young bird field this year, but anyway, we know that didn't happen, so there they are. So that's what you like to see, a bit of happening in your bird room, isn't it? That clear body cock's the guy that went to the Nationals last year. He ran about 6th, I reckon, didn't get off the floor of the cage. So a nice albino hen. I'm not exactly sure, but I think she might be a sister to the diploma winner, the other albino. So anyway, they're being not long paired up. Took them a little while to lay their first eggs, but there are fertile eggs amongst them, so that's nice to get a start, even though it took an inordinate time. Oh no, 13 to the 6th they went down and they laid their first one the 9 to the 7th, so a bit longer than normal, but you just need to be patient. I've got a young light green cock here. He's a bird that's a bit of a problem bird. He's got some feather problems. He doesn't want to grow tails, and he's missing a flight or two, but he has got some really nice features about him, and I'm trying to find a hen that I can put him with. So the first thing, given that he's got some feather problems, the first thing I'll look at with him is birds without feather problems. So I've got some cinnamon opaline hens here. That one there, and the sister down there. There's also a big cinnamon hen at the back. Not as keen on the cinnamon hen at the back. She's nice hen when she blows, but she's a bit narrow and across the top, above the sear, she's a bit narrow. She looks quite impressive at times, but when she's not letting it go, she looks pretty ordinary. So, despite the fact that I'm a bit concerned about that cock, I'm thinking that this hen here is probably where I'm going to head. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, there's no right or wrongs in any of this. It's all about, you know, making judgments. But yeah, I think they'll make a nice enough pair. So, some more opalines. This is the brother. I'll get a good look at him. That's the brother to the grey-green guy, paired up with his auntie. And they've got, unfortunately, they've only got one chick from their first round. Doesn't look like so far I've got any colour happening there, maybe. I'll have a look at the torch in a minute. There, one chick I fostered out and is up here in this nest here. And it happens to be that chick there, which is not a bad opaline. Quite happy with that. If it sits still. It's a nice handful of a baby with a bit of something going on. Looks clean enough at the back. So quite happy with that. It's in with some split fallows. So these split fallows are from last year's national winning fallow cock. To what I thought, or what I was sold as, a split fallow hen. This cobalt girl back there. But after about 8 chicks so far, I haven't got a red-eyed one yet. So I have a feeling that he may actually not be a split fallow. A nice group of chicks here, all just about to fledge. The blue's not from this nest, it's from another nest. Quite happy with these guys. There's a bit of size in these grey greens. Their mother's actually the mother of the opaline cinnamon grey green that we were looking at pairing up with the light green cock. This chick here I quite like. Nice big handful of the baby. Got a bit of something going on. Good depth of mask. So it could turn into something yet. Don't mind it at all. Here's the parents. Let's move this drinker out of the way and we can get a better look. So they're the parents. Mum's had some feathers trimmed from around her eye. Got a bit dirty while she was feeding. But a good strong pair, and I like the chicks. So a couple of babies. A few more full eggs to go. So young double factor cock. He's a bit dirty at the moment, he's been feeding. Out you go, sweetheart. Didn't work the way I would have hoped. And a nice spangled grey hen. So I had sort of like that. That double factor cock is one of the nicer young birds from last year. Not showing himself off very well at the moment. But I'm happy I've got a couple of chicks coming from him. So a bit of something different going on here. I've got a couple of New South Wales birds in this pair. So cock, Gary Gazzard cinnamon cock, and opaline cinnamon hen. So nice pair. The opaline cinnamon hen is the daughter of a race-laid cock. So basically a lot of Gazard breeding in behind this pair. She's not a super hen, she's got a nice little top on her. Not a monster. We'll see how they go. 2 chicks is a good start. Okay, yellow-faced spangled cock. A nice sort of a top on him. Little push thing sort of face. Doing the right thing. So first round I got 1 chick. Second round we're up to 2, 4, 6, 7. 4 of them have been fostered out. So the 4 oldest ones I've moved out. And there's the 3 youngest. There's still 3 more full eggs. So we'll see if we can get those other 3 eggs out. So oftentimes I find it's best to move those older chicks out of the nest. Gives the young ones more chance, less chance of getting squashed, and more chance of the remaining eggs to hatch. Where's the hen? There's the hen he's with. Nice enough cinnamon hen. Nothing super, but not too shabby either. That's a little cinnamon baby here that came from actually a love pair that paired up out in the aviary, and I thought they don't look too bad. So I popped them in. And you can't quite see those chicks, but I'll see if I can find the other. Here's another cinnamon. Same pair, looks like a hen as well. So yeah. So this is something that I don't normally do. I like to try and keep my white-cap pairings as normals or cinnamons. Rarely do I put a spangle in there. However, I really like this pair together. The hen is a niece of the big cinnamon sky cock, and she's got a bit of that same feather going on, that same frontal feather. The spangled cock, I really do like what he's got going on front on, but he doesn't seem to want to turn around and show us his nice frontal. I'll see if I can get him on a different angle. There's the hen. So she's obviously in feeding at the moment. They've got 4 chicks, and which I'm quite happy about. It'd be nice if they all turned into normals, not spangles, but I don't think I'll be too worried either way. I should be just grateful I've got 4 chicks.